Okay, once again I'm back in this brand new video. So basically this time we're going to explain about prefix. Prefix is sort of simple. You need to ta-da, magic, and the table is out. You need to remember a few things here. First thing, the names. It goes like giga, mega, kilo, deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, pico. Okay, it's not really that helpful, right? With me reading through all these things, you can't remember them easily. Okay, let's look at this way. This deci thing here, you should have learned it in your primary school if you are paying attention. Deci come from the word decimal. So deci is kind of like the medium point for everything. Even though decimal with this word mer here, it becomes something like 0.1, 0.01. These are all these things that we call decimal. So remember that because decimal we have learned it in primary school, we will put them as our midpoint. That's how things work, okay? How my teachings work. So as deci is actually 10. Centi, you heard of the word centimeter, cm. Cm is actually like 100 cm is going to be 1 meter. So centimeter, remember that because it has 2 0 right here, it will be 10 negative 2. Okay, let's kind of analyze this. I think I'm going a little bit quick. When you're going up, this particular value here will be positive. When you're going down, it will be negative. Okay, so bear in mind with all these things. Now we will go back to how we remember all this value again. Okay, once again, deci is in the middle. I have explained centi because you always use centimeter. It's like 100 cm and they are equal to 1 meter. And we know that cm is smaller than meter, right? Yep, so 10 to the power negative 2. 1 times 10 to the power negative 2. This will be the value for the prefix of centi. Okay, we have here meter, cut, centi, we are left with centi. Okay, so we have explained centi. Let's go down first before you go up. Now you see, these two particular value here, tick, are the only special value. The others are very easy to remember. You start with milli first, because you always heard of millimeter, and it's like 100 millimeter, 1000 millimeter equal to 1 meter, right? So that's why millimeter is negative 3. Then all they need to remember now is like milli goes to micro, goes to nano, pico. You see, this is like you remember through both M are connected together. Micro, the symbol is something like a U with a little ponytail. So it's like U, tail, U, and a tail. This is the symbol for micro. And basically, these things, when they are going down, generally you can see a pattern here. It's negative 3 already. Every time they goes down, they hop negative 3. Except for these two special guy. Okay? That's all you need to remember. Milli, micro, nano, pico, negative 3. Then when you're going up, this is actually going to be positive 3. Kilo, mega, giga. Now bear in mind here, these two guys want to be special as well. So this mega and giga, they are in fact going to be G in the big letter and M in the small letter. Everything else is going to be in the small letter. Then this micro will have a special symbol. That's all you need to remember. For the table right here, that's how I memorize it. We watched it a few times and I hope you remember it. Now, let's fill this back in. Yeah, okay. Now we are moving on to the next part. So this next part is actually where all the students get a little bit confused. You just need to remember a few things. Firstly, we are looking this prefix calculation. Yeah, we are talking about calculation right now that students get confused. This prefix calculation, just remember they are like first case and second case. The first case is kind of like 2.15 times 10 to the power negative 2 cm. Then they want you to find meter, where the c is kind of directly beside this whole value thing right here. And I call that the first case. The second case is when they want you to convert stuff already, like 25 meter. Convert them to 25s. Convert them to cm and you will find the value out. Okay, so with these two cases kind of clear out, let's try to analyze them. So firstly, let's use the value 3.45. It sounds better. Okay, I want 3.45 to be converted into meter. Okay, so I look at this, I realize that the c is directly beside, so I will take this as the first case. And when it is the first case, what you do is you just directly find the value of c. Centi is 10 to the power negative 2. Then you insert it in and you put the multiplication symbol. Then you use your calculator and all the miracles happen and suddenly you figure out all the values. It's 0.0345 meter. That's all. So we take a look at second example right here, where we want to convert 2.15 times 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 3 kilometer into meter. Wow, I look at this again, I realize, okay, this thing is kind of beside me, so I'm just going to put in a multiplication symbol where I copy stuff from my table. So 10 to the power of -3, and suddenly I found out my value is 2.15 times 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 6 meter. And I realized that it's kind of simple, so I look at the next thing right here, and suddenly the question came with a little bit of twist. Instead of asking me questions that simple, they gave me value like 8 times 10 to the power of 5 meter to micrometer. And this time I see something interesting. I'm starting off with meter here, and I need to go to micrometer. That's when I remember that it is the second case where you are going to another prefix instead of trying to find out the meter only. So when it is a second case, we use the second case one, which is instead of multiplication, we are going to invert the value. So 8 times, which means we're going to go for divide. Okay, 8 times 10 to the power of 5. Look at this value here. Okay, 10 to the power of -6. So let's go for 10. Okay, there we go. 10 to the power of divide by 10 to the power of -6. Okay, then I put a bracket around here because after I divide this value in, this value should be implemented inside already. So I put the bracket here, and it is micrometer. 8 times. Well, if it is divide, negative becomes positive, right? If you have done this in maths, so it will be like times 10 to the power of -6. And then I realize I get it is 10 to the power of 11. And remember, I have a bracket and the unit micrometer with me. So it's actually 8 times 10 to the power of 11 micrometer. Now we look at another example right here. This time we'll try to convert two things at once. So let's say we have 3.45, illustrative number, times 10 to the power of 3 kilometer again. And I want to convert this to millimeter. Let's analyze this one by one. This one is directly beside, right? Okay, let's start this case 1 first. Case 1, 3.45 times 10 to the power of 3 times, well, directly beside, we are going to use multiplication. 10 to the power of 3. Then I can sort of do this together, and I look at here. Oh, it's actually case 2. Okay, case 2, we are going to divide. So millimeter, found you 10 to the power of -3. Divide 10 to the power of -3. So it will be 3.45 times 10 to the -3, 10 times again. And finally, when this comes up, we'll just put a bracket millimeter. Since this only comes out in objective, just remember to bring your calculator, input the value in, and you will be fine. Okay, last part to talk about here. This is something that you kind of need to bear in mind with. Let's say I am trying to convert meter to cm, and this time, yeah, let's try to convert meter to cm first. So from my understanding, cm, okay, it's not so clear. 1 meter to cm. Now it's clearer. Okay, converting to another unit, case 2. So 1 divide by 10 to the power of -2, you could do 1 times 10 to the power of 2. 100 cm, I'm a genius. So I move on to the next thing. This time they give me something more weirder. 1 meter square, 2 cm square. That's when I get a little bit confused. But do you remember at the previous chapter we talked about how meter square is just 1 mm. Cm square is just cm times cm. Oh, so when I look it from this perspective, things suddenly become clearer. 1 meter, so it's just basically converting to 2 cm, right? Okay, 1 divided by 10 to the power of -2, divided by 10 to the power of -2, and insert it to my calculator, and tada, I got my value. Now, let's say they want to make your life more miserable, and they give 1 meter cube, 2 cm cube. Well, same thing, it's not that miserable actually. Cm times cm times cm. It's like 1 meter times meter times meter, convert to all these things. So yeah, and I finally get my answer by just using calculator. So that's it. Physics prefix took a little bit longer than what I thought, but yep, I believe you get this clear. Yes, there you go. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned stuff.